Hello, we have another great week coming up. We are on to lesson 4. Can you believe we've gotten this far into it? I just want to show you, I clicked on content first, and now I'm going to lesson 4. The topic this week is on lifelong learning. So, wanting to be a learner your entire life, your whole life long. So I just want to show you, I always like to look at the preview page to talk about what this week is mostly about and its objectives. We're going to talk about how you can be a lifelong learner and why education is important. And I love this topic because you're all in a wonderful place where you're working on your education. We're also going to talk about your use of media. So it's the books you read, TV you watch, social media, like Facebook, Instagram, and we're going to learn some rules of proper manners for online communication, like email. Then we'll also have a study skill, as you'll see in these ones, and the skill is predicting. So that's, as you're reading, trying to make guesses of what's going to happen. I wanted to read the quote on this page by Elder Eyring because it's one of my favorites. Most people stop learning out of fear. They are afraid they cannot learn. You need never have that fear if you are faithful. Your formal schooling may be interrupted for some reason, but I want you to know with absolute certainty that you can learn whatever God would have you learn. Great learners believe that. They have the attitude that they can learn. And I love, as I've gotten to know you this semester, I know all of you have that wonderful attitude that you can learn. You're having to learn content, like the information on how to have these life skills, and you're learning English. So I know that you can learn, and it takes a lot of work, but you guys are amazing. This is something that I believe strongly in, and I strive to, even though my formal schooling is over, I try to learn as much as I can all the time and continually improve on the knowledge that we have, since that's something we will take with us in the next life. I just want to talk briefly about the application activity, but let's see if it'll get me back to that page. One reminder is to make sure on your logs, I think I say this every time, but your listening and speaking log, if you notice that you're doing all activities that are just helping your listening skill by watching movies, listening to music, listening to a talk, a general conference talk, then I would challenge you to at least try one speaking activity where you talk with a person. Because if you don't have a chance to use your English in speaking, it won't develop. So that's my challenge to you. Discussion board, remember, by Wednesday night, respond to or post your initial post. Now, the next thing on the rubric is that you have responded to 3 peers. I am going to say I would like those to be people's initial posts. So for example, if I posted on Wednesday night and on Thursday I see someone asked me a question on what I wrote, then I respond. I don't want you to count that because I would like your 3. I want you to still answer your peers, but I would like the 3 that you do have to be responding to someone's post. That way we make sure everyone is having people ask questions of their original post to really deepen everyone's understanding. If we're just reading, if you're only focusing on what people are saying about what you wrote, then you're not learning as much as you possibly could, so you're doing a disservice to yourself. With that being said, before we get into application activity, since it's lesson 4, we are past the first 3 weeks. My note this week, I talked about how I will now be following the assignment rules on making sure that they are turned in on time. If it is 1 day late, I deduct 5% from what you would have gotten. If it's 2 days late, I start doing 10% for each day. So that would be 10 plus the 5 would be 15% off. If it's 3 days late, then we're going to have 25% off of what you would have gotten if it were turned in on time. And I will not accept work after 3 weeks. So starting, since this is lesson 4, after it's been 3 weeks, if you try to turn something in for lesson 4 on lesson 8, I won't take it because by that point it's so far, and a lot of times those assignments are building upon each other, and helping you with the next assignment. So if you're that far behind, it's defeating the purpose. But as always, email me with unique situations, and I am happy to work with you to make sure this is as successful as it can be. Okay, now that let me show you application activity directions. And one thing, make sure you're uploading the right template. I've had a couple where in the application activity where you go upload your template, they've uploaded their vocabulary quiz sentence template. So make sure you're picking the right one and reading your feedback, because it's in the feedback that I tell you, oh, you got the wrong one, try to submit that so I can then grade it. So that's just a reminder. Okay, you will think about what you've learned about lifelong learning and online etiquette, having good manners. Download the template. Think about a topic or skill you want to learn that's not taught in this course. Like it says, like repairing a car, cooking. I always want to learn how to knit, and that's not taught in this course. And answer why you want to learn that. Then Elder Bednar has some questions for you to help analyze your media use. And I think this is an eye-opening activity, because I love doing this every semester. Then you're going to set a goal. Short term, that means not very long. So it's just for the next week. So I'm set the goal here in lesson 4, and then the week of lesson 5 I'm working on that goal, so that by the end of that week, so really in 2 weeks, I have worked on that goal. And be specific, and your goal needs to be on improving your use of media. Maybe I want to spend only 10 minutes on Facebook each day instead of what I've been spending. Maybe my goal is to not get on social media or not watch as much TV as I usually do. Maybe just watch one show a day. Maybe I want to use media to post an inspirational thought or quote each day. Whatever it might be, set that goal and be specific instead of just saying I want to do better on my use of media. What specifically about that? Then you also have an assignment to create a sample email. So this is just a pretend email that you could write to family, to a coworker. You pick the subject matter of your choice. It doesn't have to be about school. It could be, I need to write my manager about some concerns I have, or I haven't talked to my grandma and I want to write her a letter. And like I said, it's just a sample, but if you like what you wrote, you could always send it on to whoever you're writing it to. Make sure, here is the big thing that often gets looked over. The body of the email, so that's not counting the Dear Sarah or the From Sister Colton. The body, the main letter, needs to be 6 sentences long. So that's a lot, but you can do it. And make sure that you're following. There are some guides in here that walk you through online etiquette, what you need to have in an email. And so I'll be watching for that. And then you just type it right into that template that you download. Make sure that after you've written your email, you look and make sure, do I have all the things that the online guidelines showed? And then the last thing you do is you visit the LDS Volunteer website and take a browse, look through it, and then let us know in your template what you liked from that. Okay, that's application activity. It sounds like a lot, but I think it is not as much as it sounds. The last thing I'm going to show you is my English tip. So, I have, and I will, let me just move my face for a second so that you don't have to try to concentrate on both. Oh, my screen's moving. Hold on. Okay. Let me get a little ad here, sorry. So this website is just one about with English rules. Articles. So nouns need something in the front of the noun that comes before it, and that's an article. And there are different kinds. And as I've looked at your vocabulary sentences, there are many of them that are missing that piece in their sentence. So, for example, a and an are indefinite articles. That means they're not specific. When you're just talking about something in general, like I need a phone, I didn't say what kind. If I say I need the iPhone 7 Plus, then that's the, and I put the because it's specific. I just means I need a phone. Mark wants a bicycle. Do you have a driver's license? And let me show you. You also need to do, look here at this example. The way to know if you're going to use a or an is depending on what that noun starts with. What letter, okay? Which is, I know it's silly, but excellent book. So excellent, which is describing the noun, but it's really the word after. If it starts with a vowel, which is A, E, I, O, or U, if it starts with one of those letters, then I need an, okay? But here you'll see the next letter after the was it A, E, I, O, or U? Nope, it was B, so it's a consonant. So I can just do I don't need to do an, okay? Same with here. T is not an A, E, I, O, or U, not a vowel. Okay? And here's an example it's not correct. Sometimes, like it says, you don't need, let's see if it talks about you, don't need to have one. You can't use or an with plural nouns when you're talking about something that's more than one, like bears. There's more than one. Because a or an is used when you're just talking about a single thing. So you wouldn't say, I saw a bears in Yellowstone. You would just say, I saw bears. Okay, so remember, that's one thing. You do need articles when the noun is singular. Okay, if it's plural, you don't need them. Then the word the, that's definite. Like, the cat is black. I'm talking about a specific cat, which I have a cat, and the cat is black. The book is very heavy. I'm talking about a book in my backpack, and so that's why I'm talking about a specific book. So that's why I need the. Okay, I know that's a lot to take in. However, one thing to remember with if you're using the word the, it can be used with singular and plural nouns. So that's a different rule than the a and the an. Okay, so you could say I saw the bear, I saw the bears. Both of them use the. There's not that rule where you don't need an article when it's going to be the. Okay, I know that's a lot. I hope that was helpful. If you're having more questions about how to add articles to nouns, hopefully my feedback is informative and helps you learn. But if you do have questions about any of my feedback or forgot how to get to my feedback, just let me know. I'm happy to answer questions. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and remember, get things in on time so you don't miss any points. Bye everyone!